Yo guys, hope you're doing good. Just a little warning before the video. When I was recording this, I was tired as fuck, absolutely shattered, and so I was stuttering all over the place, forgetting things that happen in fights. So bear that in mind. Anyway, hope you enjoy the video. Cheers. Yo guys, UFC 329 is just finished. I'm here to give my full reaction and breakdown of all the fights on the card, and this was an amazing card right up until the main event. The main event was disappointing, but generational card. From the early prelims, loads of finishes, all the way up to the main card. It was great from start to finish, but let's get straight into it. And you know what? We're going to start with the main event. Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway. Conor McGregor blows out his ACL in about 10 seconds into the fight, and and the fight was called a minute into the fight. I've heard loads of things saying, people saying he looked dodgy coming out, his walkout anyway, like as in his leg. It was funny, it was his right leg that he blew out. I've seen like clips of him in the back warming up, when he's like warming up his kicks, and people saying, oh, he didn't look right from the start. I mean, there is a good chance he did have a pre-existing injury coming into this fight, but then again, he could have just landed funny on the after that high kick. But it's a disappointing way, you know. You want to see a fight, you know, but it is a sour taste in the mouth, you know, because obviously the card was fucking generational, and then you have just a disappointing main event. But then again, it's like, you have a 5-year layoff. Is your body used to like that adrenaline and, you know, and just the physical like requirements, you know, of a you know, top level MMA fight? I don't know if a 5-year layoff and then being 38 years old, if you can still do that. And I do think he finished. I think we've seen the last of Conor McGregor. I mean, think about it. ACLs can sometimes take up to a year to heal, you know, and after that you got recovery, and then you got to think, will he ever be the same after the ACL? You know, will he be able to kick properly? Will he be as light on his feet? Sorry. Yeah, I don't think we'll see him ever again. I mean, Max Holloway said he'll wait for him in 2027 for a fight. I don't think he should do that. I don't think Conor McGregor will be coming back, but I do think maybe this is what we should have expected. I mean, like I said, I had Holloway to win anyway, so I'm going to take the pick, you know, as you do. But yeah, it's maybe we should have expected this. It's just a 5-year layoff, and then, you know, coming off that nasty injury where he broke his leg against Dustin Poirier. I mean, and then coming straight back into it with Max Holloway after 5 years. I don't think his body was prepared for it. You know, you can do all the training you like, but sometimes the body just doesn't work the way it's used to, you know. It doesn't work the way it used to, you know. I just, maybe we should have expected something like this. Something felt off. I've seen other people saying it as well. Something felt off. It didn't. I know it's because it's been 5 years since he's fought, but something felt off though. It just didn't feel right. Even when he was like walking out, and like, I know it sounds weird, but a haircut, it just, something felt off from the start, from like the minute that it's like he started walking out. Something felt off, and yeah, shit happened. Ended in the minute, blew out his leg. For Max Holloway, like I said, I don't think you should wait for Conor McGregor to run it back next year. It's just carry on with your career. It's just one to forget about this fight for everyone. But yeah, it's a rough way to probably end Conor McGregor's career. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's what we should have expected, you know. Disappointing, but counts as a win for Max Holloway, and I don't think they should run it back. But let's move on to the co-main. Paddy Pimblett gets it done in under a minute against Benoit Saint Denis, and I've called this, yeah. Well, I said Paddy would win, but I said this happened in the later rounds, yeah. I said Benoit would shoot a lazy takedown and Paddy would lock up a guillotine or something, and then or some kind of submission. And what happened? Not a guillotine, I didn't say guillotine. I think I said Darce choke. And I think he got it done by Darce choke. Again, I can't remember off the top of my head. Fucking so tired right now. But, yeah, gets it done in 52 seconds. What a performance. Benoit shoots a lazy takedown. Paddy locks up submission straight away. And Paddy Pimblett shuts a lot of people up. You know, a lot of people had Benoit to win this fight. And I don't know how. Paddy is a well-rounded fighter, you know. He's got great submissions. He's got very good grappling in general. He's a lot better on the feet than Benoit, but you know, he's got crafty moves on the feet. You know, he's got nice knees, decent elbows, decent striking in general. I'm so happy he won, honestly. But yeah, book that Ilia Topuria fight now. Get Ilia Topuria when he's back. Book him versus Paddy Pimblett. Yeah, co-main event of a pay-per-view, number event, whatever you want to call it. Book it now. That fight has to happen. You know, he's just beating a top 5 guy. Paddy Pimblett is back in the top 5. Ilia Topuria's just lost his belt. I don't see any other fight that needs to be made other than that one. You know, for Benoit, I don't know where you go here for Saint Denis. There's a lot of matchups you can give him, but I think he'll want to take a lot of time off here. I don't know, but he is a very active fighter, but not the humiliation. That's the wrong word to use, but like the mentally, this might take a while to get past. But you know, he's an active fighter. He came off the Dustin Poirier fight, not too great. Obviously, I think he was it Moicano he fought after the Dustin Poirier fight where he got beat up quite badly. But the guy's made a resurgence in his career after that back-to-back losses. I think it was them two, Dustin Poirier and Moicano. But the guy will come back. He'll be back, Benoit Saint Denis. He'll be back. He's a good fighter, and a lot of people wanted to avoid him in the division. Paddy took the fight and got him out there in under a minute. Great win, absolutely sensational win from Paddy Pimblett. But we'll move on to Mario Batista and Corey Sandhagen. I picked Corey Sandhagen in this fight. I said he'd win by decision, 29-28. I said he'd struggle in the first round. Probably Mario Batista gets his grappling going early, and he'd win the second and third, Sandhagen. But Batista gets it done. 30-27 on the scorecards. I see a lot of people saying it's a robbery. I don't think it's a robbery. I think Batista did win it. I'm not sure about all 3 rounds, but I think after this, what round was it? I think it was the first, where the from the submission attempt, or Sandhagen blew out his leg from the squeeze from Batista on his leg, and I think from that he just wasn't the same Sandhagen. But I maybe underestimated Batista a little bit on the feet. I did say he was good on the feet, and I said he was impressive on the feet, especially against Umar when he fought Umar back in October. He was very, very good. Stumbled Umar in that fight, but maybe I underestimated a little bit too much. You know, he looked good on the feet. Dropped Sandhagen in the third with a left hook. Batista, he's a very well-rounded fighter. I've just said the same about Paddy Pimblett. Batista is a complete fighter. You know, he's great on the feet. He's got look, you see here, 7 takedowns there, 5 shot there, but another takedown there. The guy is an all-round fighter, and there's some decent matchups. I mean, he's going to be in the top 5 now. Corey Sandhagen is a top 5 fighter. I think he's number 4, so he'll be in the top 5. Batista probably ranked number 4 or 5. I'm trying to think he could give a matchup. Because who's booked? Umar and Song Yadong's booked. O'Malley's probably going to want to wait for a title shot. Peter Yan and Marab are probably going to run it back. So maybe take some time off Batista. But he's probably 1 win away from a title shot, Batista. And it's alright getting some new faces in the title picture, because you know we've got the same 3 guys kind of running rematches and whatnot, you know, because like O'Malley and Song Yadong have already fought. O'Malley and Yan have already fought. Marab and Umar have already fought. Marab and Peter Yan have already fought twice. So in the title picture, it's just a bunch of rematches and trilogies. So it's not a bad thing to have a bunch of new faces in the title picture, like Mario Batista. So great win by Mario Batista, and maybe it was a bit foolish to pick Corey Sandhagen. A lot of people did pick Mario Batista, and maybe I should have seen it coming. But great win for Mario Batista. Yeah, disappointed for Corey Sandhagen, but is what it is. Should have seen it coming. Brandon Royval versus Lona Kavanagh. This was a sick fight from start to finish. I'm disappointed for Lona Kavanagh. You know, I like the guy. I like his fighting style. Seems like a cool guy as well. But Brandon Royval gets it done by submission in the 3rd round. First round was competitive. I know the strikes are quite heavily in favour of Brandon Royval, but Lona Kavanagh, it was a competitive-ish round. Brandon Royval definitely probably got the little edge on Kavanagh in the first, but it was competitive rounds. Second round, Kavanagh drops Royval bad, has him stumbled, lands some ground and pound. I was convinced Royval was getting finished, but slugs it out. Royval's got that dog in him, and we should have seen it from the Joshua Van fight. He's had other entertaining fights as well. Royval is a very entertaining fight. So is Kavanagh. These two were just like made for a perfect matchup. I said this before in the predictions video. These two are just going to put on fight. This is fight of the night material all day. You know, put on a show. And then round 3, Kavanagh gets stumbled bad by Royval right at the start of the 3rd round. And he's up against the cage, and he lands a counter left hook, and Royval actually gets stumbled bad. And then I can't remember what happened, but he shot a guillotine on Royval, which was silly, really silly. That's what I don't get with the guillotine thing with fighters. I don't know why you'll very rarely see a submission by guillotine in the UFC. Guys in the UFC just don't tap to a guillotine. They don't. It's just, I don't know. You think they'd learn by now, but you know, maybe it's an experience thing for Lionel Kavanagh. He gave a good account himself in the whole fight. It didn't look bad at all. He beat 95% of the flyweight division. But yeah, in the round 3, tried to shoot the guillotine, but the fight ended up on the ground. Royval tried a couple submission attempts on him, or like no, he had it on over the chin of Kavanagh, readjusted it, got it under the chin. Kavanagh tapped, went to sleep. I'm disappointed for him, but he had a great second round, competitive first round. Yeah, hell of a fight though. Guys going home with a 100k bonus for fight of the night. Great fight. Royval's got that dog in him. Royval is an entertaining fight, and he seems like a cool guy as well. I've seen his interviews. Both of them, they're cool guys. Put on a show. Disappointed for Kavanagh, like the guy, but great fight. Great fight. See, my main card picks are terrible here, like Batista, Royval. I'm not going to get any better here. With Bobby Green versus Terence McKinney. Bobby Green gets it done right at the end with 1 second left at the end of the first round. Bobby Green was getting beat up badly by Terence McKinney in the first round, but you know, that's what you expect from Terence McKinney. That's what he's about. He comes out flying in the first round, and he actually composed himself a little bit in the first round. You know, I expect him to come out a lot more. What's the word? I expect him to come out flying, where he had a bit of composure about him. You know, he was piecing up Bobby Green on the feet. Definitely, he was backing him up against the cage. Ends up getting a takedown, maybe with a minute and a half left of the on the first round. Tries to lock up get onto Bobby Green's chin. Bobby Green's cut open badly. He's bleeding, and I was convinced, right, this fight's only ending one way. He's going to find a submission, or get a win via ground and pound. It wasn't looking good for Bobby Green, but the fight gets back to the feet with not long to go. I really don't know how long to go. Probably maybe like 30 seconds. And Terence McKinney lands some good shots, and Bobby Green with about 10 seconds left rips one shot to the body, and Terence McKinney just folds. And he's covering up, but the referee could have let it go to the second. I mean, it's not like there were massive shots. A lot of them were on the gloves. He was covering up pretty decently well. But yeah, that one body shot just folded McKinney onto the ground. Yeah, it's I don't know. I feel like it could have gone to the second. There was like a second left. McKinney would have been alright, but I think if it had gone to the second anyway, Bobby Green would have got the win it somehow anyway. I said this before, if it goes past the first, it's Bobby Green's all day. But he gets it done in the first round by a TKO. I don't know about Terence McKinney. It must have been a hell of a body shot, but I don't know. Great win for Bobby Green though. We'll see on a 4-fight win streak now. I saw Dan Hooker called him out on Twitter. Maybe book that fight. I don't know. That'll be a cool fight. Two guys are just going to go out there and slug it out. So maybe you book that on a card coming up soon. But move on to Bobby Knuckles, mate, yeah? Getting his light heavyweight debut win versus Nikita Krylov. Also, yeah, what the fuck was that commentary from Joe Rogan and Daniel Cormier? Especially Joe Rogan. What the fuck was that in the first round? He's just slagging off Robert Whittaker the whole time, saying, "Oh, he's glazing Paulo Costa. Like, Paulo Costa's not even fighting, you bald fuck. What are you doing?" That pissed me off so much. He's like, Paulo Costa looks so great at light heavyweight. He's saying like, Paulo Costa just looked like middleweight Paulo Costa at light heavyweight, and Robert Whittaker just doesn't look. He just doesn't look right. You know, he should lose. He's got too much body fat. It's like, shut up. It's literally the first round. Shut up. The first round was the most competitive out of the three. Krylov got to take a few takedowns here. Held Robert Whittaker down for a bit. I think Robert Whittaker, maybe, he was trying to adjust to like the fighting in that size, in that weight class. But once it got to round 2 and round 3, he completely took over Robert Whittaker. He got his boxing going. I said he'd get a finish in the later rounds, and he did. Robert Whittaker gets it done in the third round TKO, breaks Krylov's jaw at the end. That's why I quit. You could see Krylov say you could just see something wasn't right as soon as he hit that right hand. But yeah, gets it done in the third round. But fuck Joe Rogan and his stupid commentary, because they all switched up as soon as round 2 came along. He started landing some good shots. They all switched up on commentary and started glazing Robert Whittaker. But what was that round 1 commentary? Jesus Christ. We all take the piss of like commentary, with like Joe Rogan and DC and whatnot, but Jesus Christ, that was bad. Really bad. Sort yourselves out. And they're not going to see this, but Jesus Christ. Either way. Fucking hell. But yeah, I'm gassed. Robert Whittaker gets his light heavyweight debut win. I think he can go far in the light heavyweight division. He's a lot faster than Krylov. You saw in his fight, he's a lot faster than Krylov. I think there's guys higher up in the rankings he definitely beat as well. I think he can go decently far in this division. I'm excited to what's next for him in the light heavyweight division. Moving on, Gable Stevenson gets it done in the first round versus Alicia Ellison. I'm just gonna say it. I weren't impressed with Gable Stevenson. Alicia Ellison, don't get me wrong. This guy, they found this guy on purpose. They found a guy who Gable Stevenson they thought was gonna run through straight away, but I wasn't impressed one bit with Gable Stevenson. Gable the Loophole Stevenson. I was not impressed with him at all. Yeah, he just seemed a bit clumsy at times. He's a bit of a plodder. You saw that in his fights in the regional scene. He is a plodder. Got his takedown stuffed by Alicia Ellison, yeah? Gold medal what, mate? Got your takedown stuffed by the Snack Panther, mate. Have that, yeah? But, yeah, he was dominant the whole fight. Puts Alicia Ellison away badly halfway through the first round after a legal... Was it a kick or was it... Yeah, it was a kick. It wasn't too bad, to be honest. It wasn't really on the cut, the groin shot. But it is about 20 seconds after the fight restarted. Gable Stevenson puts him away. Puts him out cold, I think. I can't remember, but yeah, it was pretty dominant from Gable Stevenson. It was a bit scrappy. It was a bit of a clumsy performance, but yeah, definitely not put him nowhere near the rankings right now. Nowhere near the rankings. He needs at least 2 more unranked opponents, I'd say, before you even put him anywhere near the ranked top 15 in the heavyweight division. There's a lot of guys at the bottom of the heavyweight division that I think would beat him right now. I think Martian Tybura put a crafty vet performance in him. I guarantee you that'll happen. There's a lot of other guys that give him trouble. I think a lot of guys in light heavyweight would give him trouble as well. He's not a massive dude, like I say. He's just a bit of a plodder. But gets it done in the first round. I wasn't impressed, but is what it is. 1-0 in the UFC, Gable Stevenson. Moving on, Cody Garbrandt versus Adrian Yanez. Adrian Yanez puts Cody Garbrandt away badly in the first round. Yeah, Cody Garbrandt comes out like a fucking silverback gorilla, charging after Adrian Yanez, explosive as anything. They kind of train in the pocket, lands some nice shots, Cody Garbrandt. Seemed like he's really fired up, and then after things settle down after about a minute, fight starts to calm down. They're a little bit more at range. Garbrandt steps in, gets caught, legs go straight away, gets wobbled badly. And gets put away. I've heard people complain about the stop percentage a bit early. It's not early. Garbrandt's he's been finished quite badly a lot of times. There's no need for him to take that extra damage. Got put away badly by Adrian Yanez, and Adrian Yanez is good. He's good. I had him by later rounds TKO or KO. Gets it done in the first round, and that's the end of Cody Garbrandt. He's finished. The guy needs to call it a day. I think. I don't see who he can beat in the bantamweight division other than like the bottom of the barrel guys. It's sad, but Adrian Yanez is good though. But still, we've seen his performances against in his last fight against, I can't remember the guy's name, but he weren't great. He actually won because of his opponent got loads of points taken off for like illegal shots. I don't know where you go here for Cody Garbrandt. Adrian Yanez, been looking good recently though. Obviously had that performance against Ricky Simon when he got robbed. Puts away Garbrandt badly. I know Garbrandt isn't as good as he used to be, or really isn't. It just isn't that great anymore at all. But that's a big name to have on your resume. People will start looking at, the casuals will start looking at Adrian Yanez, because they all love Cody Garbrandt and repost his edits on TikTok. And still think he's the one of the greatest fighters of all time. Just seen a few TikTok edits of that one performance versus Dominic Cruz. But Adrian Yanez gets it done in the first round, and he is good. Adrian Yanez, excited to see who he fights next. Luke Riley gets it done in the first round versus Kai Kamaka the third. Puts him away badly up against the cage. Kai Kamaka's legs were all over the place. Luke Riley looked good. He looked very, very good. 3-0 in the UFC. I said he got the slicker boxing. He's got the faster hand, and that's what won in this fight. Up against the cage, landed some massive shots, even a couple knees in there, puts him away badly. Fight starts off, they're at range quite a bit. About 2 minutes into the fight, Kai Kamaka comes launching in, hands down, gets caught with a massive right hand from Luke Riley. His legs go instantly. He's wobbling about, and Luke Riley punched him up against the cage and puts him away. Good stoppage from the referee. I've seen people saying, who was it? I've seen a couple of people saying about the stoppage, but the guy was finished. He was done. The guy was fucked. He weren't doing anything. But great win for Luke Riley. First round finish. That's two finishes for him in the UFC now. 3-0 in the UFC. I'm excited to see what he does next. And it was a good win. Obviously, like I said, I don't know really much about Kai Kamaka. I don't really know much about him at all, really, I'm going to be honest. But it seemed like a good win to me. And from what I've said, Kai Kamaka is not actually a bad opponent at all. So, great win for Luke Riley. Scousers go 2-0 on the card. Tracy Cortez versus Wang Kong. This is probably my worst pick on the card. I thought everyone was saying Wang Kong would win this. I think I'm the only person that picked Tracy Cortez. And very stupid pick. Very, very stupid pick in my opinion. I don't know why I went with it, but I just, I had finished to get a grappling going, but she didn't. She got beaten up on the feet. For 3 rounds, we look at the strikes here. Significant strikes, 41-21 in the first. Second round, 52-27. And in round 3, 44-24. I don't think Tracy Cortez is that great on the feet anyway. I think if she can't get a grappling going, I think she's screwed against most fighters in her division. I just think Wang Kong is more serious about the game. I know it sounds mad because obviously Tracy Cortez, she is a professional fighter. She's in the UFC, but I just get the vibe from her that she's having all these relationships with other fighters. Maybe it's taken it's put a lot of a spotlight on her. From the fan base. She's getting a lot of fame off of all these relationships. But Wang Kong, she's like, I just fighters like Wang Kong will beat Tracy Cortez. I just think they're more disciplined. They're more focused on the game. They're more committed to the game. And Wang Kong gets it done by decision. Terrible pick from me. And quite bad. Damian Pinas versus Cesar Almeida. Damian Pinas, Mr. Penis, gets it done in the first round with a destructive right hand. Puts Cesar Almeida down, and the fight's over from there. 2 first round finishes. Damian Pinas put away Wes Schultz in his last fight, so this is definitely a bit of a step up. Cesar Almeida compared to Wes Schultz. I'd like to see another step up again, but yeah, puts Cesar Almeida away badly. Nice right hand, catches him as he's coming in. And like I said, there's not too much to say about this one. Mr. Penis gets it done in the first round. We move on. 2-0 in the UFC. Farah Basharat versus what's his name? John Garza. Farah Basharat gets it done by decision. I did say in my prediction video I don't think Farah Basharat actually has that much finishing potential. So I did pick him to win by TKO in the later rounds. Maybe a bit of a daft pick by me to say that, but I got the pick right. I got the right fire. That's all that matters. I did well on picks on the prelims and early prelims, and then main card it went a bit but anyway, Farah Basharat gets done by decision. John Garza gave a great account of himself, but I should have done more research on the guy because he's a good little fighter. Farah Basharat, he's a good fighter. Probably deserves a ranked opponent next, but if you look at the strikes here, it was a competitive round. I think it was 1-1 going into the third round. I think this takedown here gave Farah Basharat the fight. John Garza gave a great account of himself. Obviously, we'll definitely have more fights in the UFC after this. I think when you sign a contract, you get 3 fights usually, but not always actually. I don't know. Either way, John Garza definitely deserves another shot in the UFC. I think he was ranked 15th, Farah Basharat, or he was just outside the rankings before this fight. It's a top 15 caliber guy. John Garza put up a good performance against him in his UFC debut. Young guy as well. I think he's only 23, 24. So, great performance from John Garza, even though he lost. Farah Basharat, I just think he lacks that finishing potential. That's why I don't think he'll get the opportunities maybe he deserves, because he doesn't have that highlight reel KO. He doesn't have that crazy knockout power. He doesn't have anything, that's going viral on social media. I know that sounds stupid, but it's not always about social media. The guy is having good performances, but I think of stuff like that. The guy who gets a highlight reel KO is always going to get the opportunity over the guy who puts on like a you know, a bit of a boring dominant decision. You know what I mean? Even though they both win, the guy that gets the highlight reel KO is going to get the opportunity. I think that's how it works. But Farabasha gets it done. Give him a top 15 opponent now if he's not in the top 15 already. But John Garza gave a good account of himself. Definitely want to see more of him in the UFC. Ryan Gandra versus Zachary Reese. Ryan Gandra. Jesus Christ, I'm so tired right now. Sorry about this. Ryan Gandra gets it done in the first round versus Zachary Reese. I did say Zachary Reese was chinny in the predictions video, and point was proven, but Ryan Gandra moves to 2-0 in the UFC. I don't know where you go from here for Zachary Reese. What's that? I don't know. What's he on? 2-fight losing streak? I don't know. He lost to Michel Pereira. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know where you go from here for Zachary Reese. I don't really see him beating. His only wins are to guys like bottom of the barrel guys in the middleweight division. It's an awkward place for Zachary Reese. Ryan Gandra though, 2 first round knockouts for him. I still don't know much about him because we don't know much about him because he's only had 2. You know, we haven't seen much of him. We've only seen him in the first round a couple times. Gets 2 first round knockouts, but very powerful, explosive. Zachary Reese is chinny though, so maybe we need to calm down on how much power Ryan Gandra has. But not much to say on that one. Good start to predictions here. We get another one right here with Alessandro Costa versus Cody Durden. Alessandro Costa gets it done in the second round by submission. Adam to win in the later rounds by KO, as I thought he was a lot more powerful and just better on the feet than Cody Durden. Gets it by submission on the ground game, where I thought Cody Durden maybe had the advantage when it came to the ground game. But gets it done by rear naked choke in the second round. Cody Durden will be getting sent back to the Apex prelims where he belongs. He will not be allowed on these numbered events any longer. Alessandro Costa on a 3-fight win streak now. Needs a bit of a step up an opponent. The last 3 guys he fought haven't really been the best quality. I mean, it's Cody Durden, Matt Schnell with a glass chin. Who's he fought before that? Some guy with a moustache. I can't remember who it was. Either way, dropped him with like a body shot KO. But yeah, it needs a step up an opponent. Alessandro Costa. I don't know where you go here for Cody Durden, but back to the Apex, fighting unranked bums. But that's my full fuck me, I'm tired. Either way, this is my full reaction to the card. It was a great card until the main event, but here's what it is. It's still a generational card in my opinion. I enjoyed watching it. I think everyone else did too. Everyone on social media seems to be loving it, but main event is what it is. But anyway, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.